Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening, teacher and guys.
I told you guys that today we were going to start with the simple present, but now we're going to talk about all the verbs, okay? All the verbs. Something that you guys know, but you need to remember. So when we talk about the simple present, we have two forms, okay? Two forms of the verb. Let me put here. Okay. We have the base form and we have the S form, okay? These two forms. What's the difference? For example, let's take the verb to dance, okay? So this is the verb, to dance, easy verb. If we use this verb in the present, we have two ways to conjugate. So we have two forms of this verb. We can use dance, just the base form, or dances. Now, who remembers when do we use dances?
With three persons. With three persons.
Third person, yes, 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 exactly. So, for example, I say I dance, you dance, but when I get to third person, he, she, or it, I'm going to use dances, okay? So the S form. And all the others just with the base form. You, we, you, and they dance. So if you notice, all of them, we are going to use the base form, except for third person. Here we use dances. This is going to happen with all the verbs, okay? All the verbs in the simple present happens the same thing. When it's third person, we need to add an S at the end of the verb, okay? Don't forget that, very important. Now, Victor, I'm going to ask you to read the title and the subtitle here, please.
Okay, the simple present affirmative statements form. A simple present tense verb has two forms, the base form and the S form.
Very good. So this is just what I told you guys, okay? We have two forms of the simple present, the base and the S form, these two. Now, Mar, can you read here the first explanation?
Okay. We use the base form of the verb when the subject is I, you, we, they, or plural noun. Note, people is a plural noun.
Very important. Okay, so we're going to use the base form with I, you, we, they, or if it's a plural noun. And then remember that people is plural because we have some plural nouns that are irregular. So for example, we have person, this is singular, but we have people, this is plural. Okay, so the plural form. The same thing with woman, singular. And then we have women, plural. So these are irregular and we need to be careful with that, not to forget. Ma, can you read now the examples?
Okay, examples. I dislike insects. You dislike insects. We dislike insects. They dislike insects. Many people dislike insects.
Perfect, very good, Mar. So you guys can see that all these subjects here, okay, all these pronouns and people, because people it's plural, we use just the base form of the verb. Now let's read the S form. See, Carla, can you read here the second explanation?
We use the S form of the verb when the subject is he, she, it, or a singular noun. Note, everyone is a singular noun.
Okay, very good, very good. So what's going on? Now we have he, she, it, or a singular noun. And here it's important to note that everyone is a singular noun, even though we are talking about a group of people, of a lot of people, everyone is a singular noun. The same happens with family. Family, we are talking about a lot of people, usually, but it's a unit. So family is also singular, okay? Now, let's see. Carla, can you read the examples now, the sentences? No problem.
Examples. He dislikes insects. She dislikes insects. It dislikes insects. The child dislikes insects. Everyone dislikes insects.
Okay, perfect. Okay, very good. So with all these subjects here, okay, all these pronouns and also the singular nouns, we use the as form, dislikes. So let's read the notes. Okay, Hesser, can you read number 1?
Of course. Had is an irregular verb. The S form is has. Insects has had 6 legs. A spider has 8 legs. We use the is form in the following expression. It takes time to do something. It takes the time for bees to make honey.
When we use the verb have, it's going to be a little bit different, okay? Because usually we just put the S after the verb, okay? So dislike, dislikes. But here, when we have the verb have, we can't just put the S like this, haves. No, this is wrong. This doesn't exist. So we use has. Oops. So we use has, okay? Has. This is the S form of have. And we have some expressions like it takes. It takes time. It's used to say that we need to wait a long time. So when I say that it takes time for bees to make honey, I'm saying that they take like a long time. It's not fast, okay? It takes time. It's a process. So this is an expression and we use with the third person singular. So it takes with the S form. Now you can read the number 3, Hazard, please.
And we use the is form after ing subject gerund. Eating food waste on the ground cleans the environment.
Perfect. Okay, very good, Hazard. Guys, pay attention here. Every time that you have a gerund, I don't know if you guys remember what is a gerund. A gerund is when the verb ends with ing, okay, like eating. Eating here ends with ing, this is a gerund. Every time that the subject is a gerund, so you start the sentence with a gerund, we are going to use the S form, okay? So eating food cleans the environment with S.